Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And before we actually get to the topic of the video, I do want to make a quick plug for the live stream we're going to have tomorrow. So today's Sunday, tomorrow's Monday, the 15th, 2024. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern, only for YouTube channel members. So what is the live stream going to be about? It's going to be general commentary and thoughts about success. We're going to call it Road to Success. And it's only going to be exclusive for YouTube channel members. So if you're interested in joining this live stream at tomorrow 6 p.m. Eastern or having access to recording, simply click the join button right here. Right, only 99 cents a month. So you get two perks, basically all these badges, emojis, and then the other perk is you have access to the exclusive live stream. And we've done two live streams already. So what was the first live streams about? Velocity banking, and then here we're just going to switch it up a little bit and talk about just thoughts and commentaries on success in general. Okay, so just want to throw that out there. Hope to see you all there. All right, so now let's get to the topic of the video. So today we're going to review, like we do pretty much every single other day, velocity banking and learn how to eliminate debt. Right? It's a beautiful day to eliminate debt. Today is the perfect day, and actually every single day is a perfect day to eliminate debt. But today is actually a beautiful Sunday. So there's two things that I mention in every single video that you need to do in order to eliminate debt using velocity banking. So what are the two requirements, right? I see this in every single video. Number one is you need a budget, right? So we have a budget. I've pretty much done it right here. We have our income. We have a respectable income. We have lots of expenses, and look at what we have left over, about $600, right? So that's kind of a it's kind of a hard spot to be when you only have $600 left over, especially if you're making this good income. Okay, and then we have our expense breakdown. And what's important is that when we do our expense breakdown, right, we have to list out every single debt that we have, every one. And the whole point is we eliminate debt, we free up more cash flow, and with that freed up cash flow, we eliminate more debt. And you'll see how that works. Now, the second thing we need is a line of credit as our main operating account. So what's a line of credit? All it is a financial tool where you can borrow money, pay it back, and use it over and over again. And we have three lines of credit right here. We have credit card one, credit card two, home equity line of credit, and our main operating account will be this, right? The home equity line of credit, because it has the highest limit and the lowest interest rate, and that's the best tool to use for our main operating velocity banking account, right? So what I've done is I've pre-wrote here that this is a $50,000 limit, and with the $46,000 balance, and this is gonna we'll call this month zero, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're going to just go ahead and eliminate debts. But before I actually get into the strategy, I do want to make a few notes. So, for example, most of the videos that we've done in this channel have usually have a HELOC that has a zero balance, right? But I know there are some of you out there, and you've reached out to me and told me that you have a HELOC, but you've almost used up the whole thing, right? And just having a HELOC does not make it velocity banking. This is why you're still in the average American column. What makes it velocity banking is that you're going to put your entire paycheck into the HELOC and use it as your what's the magic word? Operating account, your main operating account. Okay. Now, I know another thing I want to know is that some of you might have some issues and challenges explaining velocity banking to other people. You're excited about it, you want to explain it, and then just words come out of your mouth and it doesn't like they don't flow together, right? So one of the tips I'm going to give you in order for you to explain the strategy to other people is don't tell them about velocity banking. Just show them this budget and say, hey, what do you think about this person who makes decent income and doesn't have this much in savings, right? What do you think about that? And they'll be like, wow, that's they're kind of put themselves in a pickle, right? They'll say something like that, and then what you'll ask is like, do you think there's an easy way for this person to get out of debt without really changing their lifestyle? Right? And then that's where you introduce them about the concept. You don't have to call velocity banking about how to pay off the debt quickly using the lines of credit. And in fact, there's a phrase that I heard, sell the hole, not the drill. So if you tell them about the drill, that's actually called velocity banking, but the hole is, how to pay off the debts quickly using the line of credit, right? So again, ask them, how do you provide immediate relief to this person, making it easy for them to pay off their debt? And we're actually going to pay off $321,000 of debt. Isn't that insane? So now what we're going to do is just have the exact same income, right? And then what we're going to do is just readjust our expenses, okay? We're going to readjust them, so that we're going to use our main operating account as a line of credit. Okay. And so what happens when we use our line of credit as our main tool, our main operating account? Guess what? This goes to zero, right? And so when we put our entire paycheck into the line of credit, that payment really doesn't matter because the minimum monthly payment is satisfied. And also you minimize the interest because you minimize the average daily balance, right? So now let's go ahead and do this. Zero, we're not going to have any savings because we're dumping our entire paycheck into the line of credit. And then C2 minus C3. Okay, so now we have, look at this. We just simply by making this our main operating account, we jump from 600 to 1,000, right? Isn't that insane? It's pretty insane, right? Okay, so now this is what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and calculate um, the next month's balances and cash flow, but let's do a few things before we do that. So here's the thing. I noticed that credit card one has $20,000 and we still have a few, we have some space available, about $3,000, so 46, actually $4,000 in our line of credit. What I do is maybe I transfer some of that credit card debt, right, from the 20K one to the 46K. And the cool thing about credit cards is that when you move or pay off the balances, the payments get lowered, unlike a student loan or mortgage. So some of you might be thinking like, hey, I overpaid a mortgage or a student loan, and the payments are the same no matter what. Like, what's the deal? I overpaid it. Shouldn't it get lower or something like that? That's not how amortized loans work, right? So when you overpay an amortized loan, guess what happens? The length, a period of the payment of time is what decreases. That's it. The payment always is fixed, right? So that's how it works. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do this. So let's say, okay, I want to move this 20K credit card debt, some of it to this 10%, 30% to 10% line of credit. So let's go ahead and do that, right? So we're just going to go ahead and if we move $3,000, this is now going to be 17K. Oh, not 17L. What am I doing? 17K. Okay. And so now let's move $3,000 here. So this is going to be $49,000. All right. And then what we can do is just recalculate this, right? And so this is going to be, what's our balance? 17,000. So it'll be 595. So just by doing a simple debt transfer, we're increasing our cash flow as well. Oh, okay. And one other thing too, there's going to be some inaccuracies when calculating all this because every time we make a payment to their credit cards, this numbers will slightly decrease every single payment, right? So look, if you look at this payment schedule, it's like 595, 598. So little the payments, I'm sorry, the minimum payment is going to go down, 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 down after every single time. But just for the sake of the presentation, we're going to ignore that for now, right? In fact, what I would probably do in my own personal case is just that every single time we're paying off that line of credit and doing velocity banking, I'm going to make sure that this is going to be near that $50,000 mark after every single payment because I want to make sure that this 30% interest credit card is essentially minimized. But for this demonstration, let's just kind of make it a little bit the math a little bit easier on us and just move it in like I don't know $4,000 or $5,000 chunks. Okay, so now we have $49,000. We're going to subtract the cash flow right here, 1261.75, right? And then what we're going to do is calculate the interest and then multiply it by zero point 0.1, which is the interest rate right here, and then divide by 12. So if you don't know how banks calculate the interest, it's based on the average daily balance. So one of the ways you can estimate this is just use the average function, multiply by the interest rate, and then divide by 12. So here we get the annual interest, and because we're getting the way that they do it is monthly, you just divide by 12 to get the monthly interest. Okay, now we've gotten that. All right, so now what we're going to do is just kind of rinse and repeat until we could just move another $5,000 or $4,000 chunk. So let's see if I did this correctly. Oh, you know what? I didn't include the interest of the previous month. So K2, right? So this is going to be a little bit higher. Okay, so now let's go ahead and at this point, we could probably move $4,000. Now, like I said, in real life, I'd probably just make this close to $50,000 possible, but I'm just making it a little bit easier for me for the presentation, because if I do it every single time, then I have to do billing calculations. So we'll be here like the entire time, like an hour, I think, and my videos are usually only like 20 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna move another 14,000, so this is gonna be, or 4,000, so it's now gonna be 13K, right? And let's go ahead and move that 4,000. And as long as we're under the limit, we should be fine. And now what's our new payment? So this is gonna be 13K. So let's go ahead and 13,000. It's gonna be 455. Okay, so now let's do 455. So our new cash flow is 1401. And then again, we just kind of rinse and repeat. 1401, 1401, 1401.75. Yep. Okay. And then let's just do another $4,000 chunk when we're ready. Okay. And we can add another $4,000 here. Okay. So now this is going to be 9K. And what's the 9K balance? Or what's the 9K monthly payment? Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And again, hopefully this doesn't make you dizzy, but sometimes, things that are actually simple in real life, when you actually go ahead and do the calculations, the calculations can get quite like cumbersome and complicated. But now this is $315, so let's go ahead and do that. We got an extra $100 of cash flow, and then we're going to copy and paste. And then now this is going to be 1541, well, almost extra $100, 1541.75. So let's just take a look at that. Yeah, 1541.75. Okay. And then now, right? So we just kind of do it again. And then we move another 4K. So this is going to be 5K now. And what's 5,000? Is going to be 175. So let's just move this. Hopefully I'm not making you dizzy by going back and forth, but I'm kind of making myself dizzy. All right, so 1681.75 is our new cash flow, right? And did I even add? Yeah, so I need to add that 4,000. Okay, and then 681.75. And then we just, how much is left? So about 5,000, although again, this is going to be a little bit unrealistic because the balances do chip away as you're making payments, right? But let's go ahead and do that and just assume that we have to now add 5,000 to that balance, and we could just add the 5,000 right here. So it's not going to be 5,000 at this point. It's probably 4 something, but who cares? All right. So now we go here, and now this is 0, right? So what's our new cash flow? 1,856.75. Excellent. And again, this payment's not going to be $854 at this point, but let's just go with it anyways. Okay, 10. And how many months did it take us to pay this off? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so now we're just going to keep, well, actually, let's readjust this, right? So 25,000, 000, at 29%, calculate that. And how many payments did we make? Or we're at month 15, right? So let's go ahead at month 15 and figure out what the payment is supposed to be. So 742.05. So 742.05. And what's our real cash flow? Of almost $2,000, right? So look at that. We went from $600 to almost $2,000. And let's just keep going. And what we're going to do is just keep moving this sucker to the HELOC, right? And what's our actual balance at this time too? So 15 is going to be 21K, okay? So we paid off about 21K at this point. And then, so now what you have to do is just, again, do the same thing over and over again. And we can just move it at $4,000 at a time, I guess. But let me just do this. 1968.87. All right. And yeah, let's do it. All right. Oh, did I screw up? No. All right. So I just need this. And then, all right. So let's go ahead and we can move at this point maybe $5,000. So let's move $5,000 plus 5000. Just as long as it's below 50, we should be fine. So now what's 21K minus $5,000? That's essentially 16K, right? So what's the balance of 16K or the minimum payment of 16K? Let's take a look. 546.67. 546.67. Okay. And our new cash flow is 2164.25 right here. Okay. So minus, or actually do this one, minus 2164.75, I believe. 2164.25. Okay. 0.25. All right. So we got that covered. And then we're just going to keep going. And then we'll move how much? All right. We'll move another $5,000 chunk here. And so let's go ahead and do that. So 16K will be 16 minus 5 is 11K. All right, let's look at the new payment for 11K. You see how tedious this is when you're dealing with credit cards? 375.83. So we're going to do 375.83. Okay. And now it's 2335.09. So that's our new cash flow. So 2335.09 minus 2335.09. And then let's go ahead and check. Okay. So now, all right. So how much debt do we have left? 11K. So 11K. Let's transfer, I guess 4,000 at this point. All right. So 4,000. 7K. So it's 239.17. So 239.17. And then it's 2471.75. 2471. 2471.75. Okay. All right. And now what we're going to do is we only have 7K left. So maybe we just do it until we have 7K available in our line of credit. So that'll be like $40,000. Okay. So let's just do this. Equals L17 plus 1. Now, as I said before, realistically, I would just keep this at 50,000 or at around $50,000 every payment and just transfer as much as possible. But we're just making it easier for the demonstration. So now this is 0. Okay, so what are we at right now? We are at 2710.92. That's pretty good, right? So 2710.92. So, and hold on. Did I screw up? 2471.75. Is that the current cash flow? No, no, no. Okay, okay. So 7K, we got to add that 7K back here. Well, actually, let me just go back here. So 7K right now, right? So let me add the 7K back to where it's probably here. So 7K. So plus 7000, right? And then now we have that really cool cash flow of 2710.92 minus 2710. Okay, so now what we're going to do is now we have to tackle, the only thing we have left to tackle is these two, right? And so let's see how long it takes us. Actually, we just need to do this. We could probably just keep hanging this off to 0, right? And then wait till this goes red. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do that. And so it takes us about 47 months. So 47 months to pay off how much debt? This is 20K, 25, 46. So let's just quit 20 plus 25 plus 46. 47 months to pay off 91K in debt. Okay, and these are these three debts. Now, at this stage, let's figure out what the balance of the student loan is. So if we have a student loan, and we can use the amortization calculator for that, so we could just say, hey, it's $30,000, and this is a fresh new student loan at we'll say 5 years at 6%. And then if we're at 47, let's see where, so we're almost at the end of the loan. So $7,287.37, right? So what we can do is just transfer the entire thing to here, right? And we get that extreme cash flow. Now we could probably, you know, have added it much earlier. So you could, it just based on the cash flow. But let's just go ahead and do that here. So plus, what's that number? Go back here. Where is the student loan? So plus 7282.37. Okay. And now what's our new cash flow? This is going to be 0, right? And now we have 3,308.9 as our cash flow. That's insane. Okay. So let me go here. So what's our new cash flow? Yeah. So now this will be the month where we transferred, and then minus 3308.79. Is that correct? 3308.9. Okay. And then let's just throw, right? So look how quickly that student loan paid off. Okay. And then this will be month 48, 49. And then so what we're going to do is now just tackle the mortgage. So I have this velocity banking calculator cheat sheet for like big loans, like mortgages and stuff, that will tell us what the payoff is, right? And so this was provided by Renatus. So I'm affiliated with Renatus. So I'm what they call independent contracted marketer. So that just means I'm independent affiliate with them. I promote the products, and I do take their classes. So if you take their classes, then you have access to their cheat sheet calculator, or what I call their cheat sheet calculator, and just plug it in. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So what we're going to do is let's put this as a milestone. So this just took like 2 more months, didn't it? So let's go ahead and do that. So let me just make sure. Yeah, so it was paid off here, and then it took 2 more months to pay off that the rest of the student loan. So we'll just say 49 months of, how much debt is that? So that's 121K, right? And now the only thing that's left is the mortgage. So at 49 months, the mortgage, let's just do this. So this will be $200,000 mortgage at 30 years at 6%. And we're going to look for the 49 month mark right here. So we're only at 189K. Okay. So what we can do is just plug this in our cheat sheet right here. Let's go ahead and do that. Take out the comma. Excel doesn't like commas because I like to put it for you. And then this is a payment. And what's our monthly income? So it's 6,500, and our expenses minus the mortgage is actually only $2,000, right? So we just need to put that $2,000 right here. So 6,500, $2,000, and it takes us about 4 years to pay off, right? So 4 years, look how much interest we saved potentially, $160,000, right? So let's just go ahead. And if you want to see this in detail, this is how it looks like. This is kind of giving me a headache, to be honest. But yeah, take a look at that. And then it, so again, it does the chunking. It also includes your mortgage payment. So it does all that jazz for you. But now it's, oh, I'm sorry, 4 years. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is 4 years. So 49 months was 4 years. So how many months is 4 years? So 12 times 4, what does that equal? 48 months. So 48 months plus 49. Let's do that. So 97 months, and then that'll be 321K because this is a $200,000 mortgage. Okay, and what's 97 divided by 12? So eight years to pay off all debt, right? So so guess what? 321K of debt. Oh, let me do this. 321K paid off in 8 years, right? So I don't know if you're excited about that, but that seems really exciting, right? Especially since most people don't pay off their 30-year mortgage in 30 years. But again, you pay off all these debts, it creates a snowball effect, then you tack on the mortgage last, and then, yeah, and then you're good. So, man, I wish I'd started this about 8 years ago. Then I'd pretty much be debt free, right? Sounds good. Well, yeah, that's it for today. And again, as we do this over and over again, you'll become familiar with this and you should be able to teach this. And the whole point of me teaching you this is so eventually you can teach other people this. Now, here's the thing, I always make a plug for a group. So if you're interested in joining our group, go ahead and click the Google form link below. And then you'll be not only be able to learn about velocity banking, but other things about financial literacy, real estate investing education, learn about how to buy properties at a discount. And that's where we're going to teach you how to do. Okay. All right. Well, have a great day, everybody. Make sure you click the Google form link if you haven't joined, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.